Hey, it's Jared with State of Tech. Today we're going to take a look at cases for the S22, the Galaxy S22, new phone here in the year 22, and I've got a ton of cases. So we're not going to mess around. We're going to bang through these cases so that you can get a look at some of the best cases that are available for this phone. A lot of these are from Amazon. Some of them are inexpensive. Some of them are more premium. And so you'll want to check out the links in the description below to check out all of the cases. We'll do our best to put the names on the screen and also have them match up to the links down in the description below. So to find out pricing and to see other color options, because I don't have time to show you more than one color in these case styles, definitely check out those links in the description. So the first one is from a company called Encased, and this is their TA213BK, probably for black. Encased was the first company to get cases to me, and so that case has been on this phone. And so it's a black case. It's rather slim. It has good contour around the camera module here. I like this case because it has like a little bit of a texture to it, but it's not like a grippy case. It's thin and it adds a lot of good protection all the way around. It has good port, access and speaker access. Nothing's covered up, and it has just enough edge protection on the front of the phone to where if you went face down on the tabletop, you're going to be okay. And so Encased has been sending me cases for a while now, and I do like their cases. There's a few other Encased styles that we're going to look at as we get a little bit further into it here. I also do like the texture on the inside of the case here. Just keeps it nice and light. Keeps airflow and everything in there. And also, I've been using this case for, I'd say, about a week and a half, 2 weeks now, and there's no dust, like nothing has gotten inside of the case. And so, while a lot of these other cases, I'm not going to be able to give a week or two of use perspective to you, what I hope that this video does is it kind of gives you a little bit more of a hands-on feel for these different cases. So the Encased, I guess this would be the thin armor. It says thin armor right there on the inside of the case. Does not say it on the packaging. Let's move on to Supcase. This is the Edge Pro, and this should be in black as well. So we'll go ahead and pull this out. And we'll use some editing magic here to minimize the amount of time that you have to watch me go through the unboxing of all of these cases. So from here on out, we'll just be jumping between cases and, just to keep things moving right along. All right, so now we're looking at the Supcase, the Edge series. This is the Edge Pro SP in black. And as you can see, it is a case that covers the whole front of the phone. It has a built-in screen protector. It does have, on some of these cases, you do have to reprogram your thumb, but on this case, it seems I'm not gonna have to do that. It has kind of a cutout window there that still provides protection. And so while it's still covering the glass, it's not literally an open circle. It does work well with the thumbprint unlock. And so this case provides a lot of protection. You know, you've got good protection all the way down the side with this kind of metallic look here. And as far as the color, we've got a lot of good edge protection that comes over the front of the case for that face down. But with the built-in screen protector, you're getting the added benefit of protection there against scratches and all that stuff. And then on the back, we have just see-through. We can see through it nice and clear, so we can see the true color of our phone without blocking that off. And, nice cutouts for everything that needs the spacing. A little deep on the bottom here, leading into our plug. And so if you have USB-C connectors that are a bit thicker, you may run into a little bit of an issue there getting your plug in. But if you use the default or the factory charging cable that comes with your phone, you're not going to have a problem. Most are not going to have a problem. I mean, I've got several over here, and I know that they would not be a problem getting in there. So a nice case, really good protection. This is from Supcase, their Unicorn Beetle series, and this is the S22 Edge Pro SP in black. And so link is down in the description. All right, now we're looking at the Speck Presidio Grip 2. This case is probably one of my favorites. I have purchased more of the Speck Presidio Grip series case than any other case. They've had this case model along for at least 10 years, I'd say, and for the different devices, they just keep improving. Of course, before it used to have like protruding grip all over it, but now with phones that wirelessly charge, they have moved the grip inward, and so it's a recessed grip, and it has nice contact for charging, wireless charging, and their cases have always been really good. Speck has done a really good job producing amazing cases and having consistent styles over a long period of time that still are stylish and extremely functional. And so this case here has grip all the way around it, which is one of the reasons why I like it, and good pronounced buttons that are easy to access and feel. Of course, there is no built-in screen protector on this case, but there is a good amount of protection face down, so that way, you know, that protection against falling and scratching your screen. A good protection there, and nice contour around the module. I like the cutout here for the flash, and it looks really nice. It's a nice case. It's got the minimal Speck design on it, and it's got the hard plastic bumpers on the edge, which, I mean, they're hard, but they're also smooth at the same time. I don't know how to explain that, but what's nice about these cases is when you spread them out to pull them off, they kind of expand out just a little bit, and so these Speck cases are not such a pain to take off of your phone, and it's not too deep down here with your port, so easily accessible. And overall, I've always liked Speck cases, specifically the Presidio Grip. They have a lot of other case designs and styles as well. Some of them are pretty slippery and smooth, but really nice look and style. I prefer the Presidio Grip, so check that out with the link below. The next case we're looking at is from Crave. This is the dual guard for Samsung, and it is a nice protective case. It has a nice texture feel all the way around it, as you can see here, and it goes all the way around. So nice little grippy texture, which is different than the last case we looked at, which had, you know, just a design. This has texture all over it, which is nice for gripping. And I like the module protection around the camera. It has a little bit of a raised edge around it. And so a case like this will sit pretty flat on the table and not rock around, which is kind of a pet peeve of mine when some of these cases have protruding on the back that make the phone not sit flat. Of course, when it's face down, most cases are going to sit flat. And this does have a decent amount of protection face down. It does not have as much protection face down as the previous cases that we've looked at. So a lot thinner on the face down protection, but the grippiness feels good. We've got the chromed out buttons here on the side, which a single larger rocker for the volume and a single button for the lock button. And so overall, this is a nice case. I would say it's not necessarily my favorite, but I do like the fact that it is a bit more slim. I like the way the texture feels on the case, and so I can't complain about this one at all. I think Crave did a good job with it. Moving on to a case by Spigen, we have the Liquid Air case, which is very thin. Liquid Air for sure, because you just really don't even feel this case, but it has a nice texture pattern on the back. It has some grippy grooves on the side, which is nice, kind of gives you a different feel as you're touching the back of the phone, and then some nice grippies on the side of the phone as well that I really like. I think I'm going to use grippies from now on. I just realized I kind of like that word. But a good amount of face down protection, about the same as the last Crave case we looked at, not as much as the previous cases prior to that, but this is a thinner style case. It's got good protection around the camera, and I like how this is more minimal exposure, so it really does kind of come in and protect. Feels more like a body glove for your phone. And so, you know, face down, it's nice and flat. We've got, you know, okay protection. If there was a little pebble on the ground or something like that, or something of substance on the table, it's not going to be raised up enough to really protect your phone, but it is enough. As long as you make sure your surface is clean, you're going to be fine. Now, I am actually, this phone case sits pretty flat. It has a little bit of rock to it. It's kind of hard for you to see there. I was wondering because there is a raise here on the camera module. As you can see, just a little bit of a raised area here, and it doesn't really affect the case too much from how it sits on the table. It's not I mean, it's there, I can feel it, but it's not as bad as many other cases that I have experienced. So while it doesn't lay completely flat, it's also not terrible. So this Spigen case, I'm liking it because of its minimal feel and the grippies on the side of the case. So this is from Temdan. This is a Temdan case we're going to look at next. All right, so we're taking a look at a case from Temdan. This one was from Amazon. I purchased this case, and the reason that I went ahead and wanted to give it a try is because it has a built-in ring on the back of the phone so that you can hold it. And so, you know, you put your finger through it and it protects your phone from falling, and that's kind of nice. And so I'm just kind of giving it a little bit of a tug test just to see. It does rotate, but it like snaps, and I feel like I'm winding up my phone. I don't really like that too much, although, I mean, there's other devices that I like that have this type of ring, and it spins a little bit more free. I don't like the clickiness of it, but I guess it does lock it in place and keeps it pretty secure. I feel pretty secure. I'm pulling on this pretty good, and it's not hurting the case at all. As far as the case goes, it has less face-down protection on the glass side of the phone. It has this little like grip area here, which I guess, you know, it's kind of where you put your fingers. If you're holding your phone like this, you know, your index and your middle finger are typically like right here. Your other fingers are on the buttons. And so I kind of like that there's just like a little bit of grippies right there on that side. The buttons are pronounced but not overly. I mean, I could feel the buttons there on the volume buttons and the lock button, but they're not like sticking out. And I don't like cases where the buttons are sticking out. So these buttons also feel good, despite the fact that they are more shallow and shallow throw as well. But overall, I'm digging this case. Face down, sits nice and flat. Backside down, it definitely rocks and kind of rolls around a bit because of this ring on the back. It just kind of acts as a pivot point in the middle, and you can kind of rotate the phone and rock it around. I don't dig that about this, but at the same time, like, this is gonna protrude and be a lot less of an issue than if you got an external item that either attached via adhesive or something else to the back of your phone case. So I think they did a good job with this one. You know, there's little improvements that could be had. But if you're looking for a case that has, you know, a support on the back of it so you can hold the phone, keep it nice and secure, you know, you definitely want to take your finger out of there before you rotate this thing. But I mean, this is nice. I feel safe and secure. I can do, you know, this phone is not going anywhere as long as I have my finger in that ring. And so that is a neat feature in and of itself. Make sure to check out the link in the description below to this case. All right, now we're going to look at the UB Pro Unicorn Beetle case from Supcase. This is always a series that is a much more robust, beefy case that also comes with a clip, a belt clip that the case would snap into. And then, of course, the clip, it's really tight, but it does rotate around for the belt clip. And the case, which is on the phone right now, will work if you snap the phone in face down. So if I snap the phone in this way, it will work. And then I can also snap in the phone the other way as well. And so the phone can face out. So, but I think the idea is that for the person who needs a case that has much more protection and is maybe on the job site, face in to protect with the cameras facing outward is the way that you would want to use this. And then the clip rotates. Of course, you could even use this like on the visor of your vehicle or something like that, but ideally it is designed as a belt clip. But as far as the case goes itself, you know, it has a nice, this particular look has a nice kind of dark kind of camo look, I guess you could say. We've got just variable different grips and designs all over this case, but it is a nice rugged looking case, and that is the idea behind this case. I mean, look how far the camera module is in there. There's a lot of protection on the back of this case and all the way around the phone on the sides and pronounced in the corners. It also has a kickstand, and so we could pop this out, snap it into place. The phone will sit up like so, and then of course it will work on its side as well. It does teeter just a little bit, but it sits nicely regardless of what direction you put it. And you know, for those Zoom calls, different stuff like that. I mean, I don't know, this case series always is pretty impressive to me, just because if I was out on a job site, I had a lot of stuff going on, I would want that extra protection on my phone. It does have a lot of protection screen down. It does not have a built-in screen protector like some of the previous year models of this case. This one does not have a built-in screen protector, but I think the idea is that you don't really need that because you have the belt clip, you put it in there. If you do plan on using this rugged case without the belt clip, you might want to get a screen protector and add a screen protector in just to add more protection on the face of the phone. Because, you know, if you're on job sites, stuff like that, you know, your phone, you put it face down, there's going to be a lot more debris, a lot more things going on, and you definitely want to protect that screen because even though these screens are nice and hard to break, they still are subject to scratching, and I've scratched them before. It does not take much to scratch one of these screens, so I still do highly recommend a screen protector. Back side down on the table, it sits nice and flat, no movement at all. And then face side down, a little bit of motion this way, but not much at all. Very sturdy case, very nice design for those of you that need a very durable case. Here we have the Caseology Parallax series for the S22. I like the design of this case. This is a more stylish case. The design on the back adds grip while adding a unique pattern design. And then there's a little bit more of a grip down here, which has kind of like a plasticky asphalt feel. It's not scratchy or anything like that, but it is very grippy. It's on the top and the bottom of the case, and so it provides like an abrasiveness that helps with slippage. A lot of times, you know, I set my phone on my leg, on my pant leg or whatever, and it could slip around. This definitely is going to be a lot more abrasive, and it's going to protect against your phone slipping and sliding all over the place. The design of this case is really nice. It's got some grippies on the side, and then down here below, just kind of where it needs to be. Palm grippies on this side and fingertip grippies on that side. And so this Caseology case is really nice. In years past, you know, they've been a little heavy-handed with their branding, but I love the subtlety of their branding. It just says Caseology right here. They've come a long way there. Good protection around the camera module. I feel like there's good protection all around this phone. There is a decent amount of protection face down, not the most that we've seen, but definitely enough for a case of this style, which adds a good amount of protection without being overbearing. So sits nice and flat, and then if we rotate it around to the backside, it sits nice and flat as well, not rocking or anything at all. So they've done a good job of balancing out this case, making it nice and stylish while making it super functional. So I really like this Caseology case. You know, I'd put it right up there with my Speck case that I really like, that I've bought hundreds of times. You always like the Speck case, but this Caseology case is definitely a close second place. All right, the next case is from iBlason. This is their Aries series, and this is in the color gray. So, you know, normally I'm a black case guy, and they sent me this one in gray. And this case I've seen before for many phones. And this is a two-piece case. You slide your phone into this inner little shell that goes inside of the outer shell, and the outer shell provides a lot of protection. This has a lot of protection around it. It adds a bit to your phone, and you'll notice that, let me see if I can get this in the picture here. It is a bit of a slope here on this edge, and so it makes your phone feel quite a bit different to hold. It's not bad, it just, because of this downward angle, I always feel like I'm pushing my phone out away from my hand. Like as I'm squeezing my phone or holding my phone, I feel like my hand is slipping backwards. Not so much that I'm going to drop it. It's definitely not necessarily a design flaw. It's just what I notice when I'm holding this phone in this phone case. It has great protection. It even has charge port protection down on the bottom. So you just pop this out of the way and you have unobstructed access to your charging port. And so while still maintaining access to your speakers and microphones and all of that stuff. So overall, I like this case. I haven't really ever been a fan of the two-piece cases. I think, you know, for me, they just too much dust builds up and stuff around the edges. You know, I have a tendency to fidget with my cases, and so I'll be like just peeling at this piece and just messing with it. That's just a personal problem, not anything that is going to affect probably most people. Cases like this sometimes have issues laying flat, but they do a good job balancing out their Aries series of case. It lays flat. There's tons of protection from the face down, from the glass side down, and obviously great protection on the back as well. It's clear, so we can see the color of our phone, even though this is the white phone as well. The whiter color phone matches up with this gray case, and all of that looks really good actually. And so I think this is a good option, especially if you want a case that is not over the top but provides a lot of protection. With these edges all around the case, there's going to be tons of drop protection as you know your phone accidentally comes in contact with the ground. There is a ton of shock absorbed protection with this case, and the iBlason case, the Aries series, I know it comes in a variety of colors as well, so there's definitely one that will fit your needs. Next case we're going to take a look at is from Justcool. This was from Amazon, and the reason that I picked this case is because it is dirt-proof, shock-proof, snow-proof, waterproof, and it does have seals. I just put this together and it seals all the way around. That was one of the reasons that I was looking at this case. Now, what was interesting is that I'm not able to unlock with my fingerprint. I'm going to have to reprogram my fingerprint just because it does have a cover going over the fingerprint reader, and so it's going to need to re-register my fingerprint. But this is completely sealed. There's a port door on the bottom that's going to pop up. It's a little tough to get to just because it is weather tight, and so with a little bit of use, I'll probably be able to get that opened a bit faster. There we go. So that was definitely tough getting to the port door, but it is sealed, and so I would open it, of course, to charge, and then it's definitely presses back in there pretty good. And so that is a seal for sure. It comes with a lanyard, and so I can attach the lanyard to the corner here and have a wrist strap lanyard. It also comes with this little squeegee just to help get any little bubbles or whatever that the built-in screen protector might leave behind. But it did a pretty good job of looking good, and everything, you know, fits good. I mean, I'm impressed with this case, just how it snapped together. And now, you know, if you were ever afraid about how IP68 water resistant your phone was, you didn't want to get dust and water in your ports, this would be a case for you, because I would feel safe chucking this thing into the water just because of how well that port seals up and just how well the rest of the case seals up. I mean, you know, there are some access to some things, you know, obviously there's like, you know, the top microphone, the bottom microphone, like there's things, speakers that have to have some access, but those are pretty well water resistant. And so this case, very durable. There's protection all the way around. It does sit nice and flat on the table, and rotated around, it also sits flat, and so no issues there. It's got a good amount of protection from the screen side, as well as that built-in screen protector, as I talked about. And then, of course, like really that access for the ports, I mean, my goodness, that's going to take a little bit of getting used to, getting that open and closed. So very easy to pop this off. I just, right here, there's access on the corner, and then I just peel back the case, as you can see here, and then I'm able to get the phone out of the case. And I just wanted to show you, I mean, if you look at the back here, you can see it's got seals all the way around, and it seats in to this edge here, and that's going to provide a lot of good water protection. I don't know necessarily what that means as far as how much further you can go underwater than you would have been able to just with the phone by itself, because it is IP68 water resistant. But you know, that's only to a certain depth, and you don't want to push it. You don't want to drown your phone or have anything, have any big issues there. But overall, I just have to say, like, this case is pretty well built, and it's not that expensive, so you're definitely going to want to check it out. Might not necessarily be the case that you would want to use all the time because of how hard it is to access the port door, but nonetheless, this case is for specific circumstances where you want that protection over and above the IP68 that your phone comes with. Okay, so this is the Cosmo series from iBlason. This case, very similar to the iBlason case that we looked at before. However, it has a nice design. I mean, these cases are pretty beautiful. The colors, the clarity, just the finish on these cases, really nice. We've got the purple around the front. iBlason has a variety of different cases. They're all similar, but they have different finish. And so we won't put another one on, but we'll take a look at this other design here as well. There are some neat cases. They're very nice. This one, not so feminine as the purple one, but a nice design. I mean, just really beautiful. So the Cosmo series cases, really nice option for those of you that want a little bit more color, you know, feminine design, whatever you want to call it. But very nice cases nonetheless. Good protection. So this has a built-in screen protector. Still works with your thumb. Of course, I think there we go, it opened. I think I may have messed up the thumb a little bit on that last case. But good protection. Screen protector built in, as I said. Nice protection all the way around the case. It does sit pretty flat. It rocks just a little bit because there is a raised edge around the camera module. Good access to our ports on the bottom of the case here. Not a problem there. And it has a silicone feel to it. And so while there isn't any, like, really any grippiness to this case, it's not super slick, like a slick plastic. It has a little bit of a silicone give to it without it being soft silicone. So I like these cases. The reason that I'm showing them to you is just to put a little bit of color into this video, but at the same time give you some different options. The Cosmo series from iBlason, definitely adding some character to your smartphone. So the last case we're going to take a look at today is from Encased, the same brand that started off this video. The Encased Rebel series is a thicker case than the first Encased case that we looked at. Has a lot more protection all the way around. It has nice grippiness all the way around, while kind of having a split here. You know, we've got the grippies on the edge. We've got more of a texture on the back side of the phone. So really nice. We've got good access to our port here, as you can see, and just grippiness all the way around the case. We've got really good screen down protection, and so just like the cases we were looking at the beginning of the video, good screen down protection, sits nice and flat. Rotating it around, sits nice and flat, is a very well balanced case. And so, you know, it has the Encased branding here on the back, and overall just a nice case for somebody who's looking for something that's pretty durable. This case feels really durable. It is a harder plastic. It doesn't have that silicone feel like some of the other cases, and the back is just more durable. So, you know, the Rebel series from Encased, definitely a good way to finish off our video. So that was a lot of cases to look at. I hope that you still stuck with me, that you maybe used the timestamps down below, but I invite you to use the links in the description to check out the color options, pricing, and all that stuff on these cases. I've got a couple more videos on the S22, including a comparison between the S22 and the S22 Ultra, and some camera-specific type of videos, and so I hope that you subscribe to the channel here on State of Tech so that you can be notified when I put out new videos. Give this one a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you back here soon in another video. Take care.